was that? What? What's that sound? Where? It's aliens and they're living in your town. Damn. They have arrived. What? They're all around. So many aliens living in your town.
Hello, weirdos out there in Weirdo Land. I hope everyone's doing great. Got a full team here. And let's get it started right away. Happy National Smoothie Day. And Happy National Vanilla Milkshake Day. And Happy National Ice Cream Soda Day. Dennys, how many national thingies do we need?
That is a lot. So do they all have ice cream in them? Is it ice cream day and then all of those kind of just piggybacked off it?
Absolutely not, Dennys. Everyone's
Smoothie,
trying to be... It's smoothie, it's vanilla milkshake, and it's ice cream soda day. And my question to you is, out of the three, what is the best?
Does anyone here like ice cream and soda mixed together, like a root beer float?
Hate it. Hate it.
Nope, I'll do it.
Get out of your house.
I do not like it.
Cream soda is this. We can't hear you, Ponton.
Guinness and chocolate ice cream.
Oh, Guinness and chocolate ice cream.
The ice cream float is disgusting.
I'm not a fan personally because I think the milk starts separating.
You're
top
not a
of the
root beer float fan?
I'm not a fan of the root beer float.
No?
Is that one of your favorites?
I love a root beer float.
They used to have
No.
A&W, and it would glorify it.
Your healthy ass ain't eating or drinking that thing.
It's the one thing I'll sin for.
It's the one thing you'll sin for? I don't believe I'm not buying that.
Fair enough. I do like a root beer float. I grew up on those.
Yeah, they were popular, I think, back in the day,
I'm
up till
also
about
from
'89.
I'm also from that Midwest, Ohio River Valley, Huntington, West Virginia, and root beer floats were, and that I'm talking about birch beer.
Yeah, a thick root beer.
Oh yeah.
A&W though, is that still around or no?
I think we were dads.
Oh, Dad's is good.
Dad's
famous.
root beer, yeah.
I can't believe how fatty root beer is. If you've ever looked at the calories on that, that is dessert in a cup.
You drink Mountain Dew on the regular.
Root beer destroys Mountain Dew when it comes to calories.
Get out of here.
I can't. I live here.
So out of the three,
Vickie, what's your favorite out of the three?
I would do the float thing, but I would do a sherbet float. So in other words, you take either orange or lime sherbet and you put ginger ale or Sprite in it.
Oh,
weird.
Sherbet. That's cool. When's your 80th birthday?
We got sassy.
Is sherbet and sorbet the same thing or no?
No.
They're not. They're slightly different, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of like gelato and Italian ice are just slightly different.
I actually don't even know the difference, but I know there is a difference. But yeah, I've always been curious. What's the difference between gelato, sorbet, ice cream?
Is one of them aerated? It's got little air bubbles in it.
I don't know.
I don't know.
All right. Well, I'm not trying to change the topic.
I think it's
on topic.
No, I think it's time to change topics.
All right, Bird. What's yours before we change?
I'm gonna go with out of the three, milkshake. It's not even close.
Milkshake.
Yeah, you guys are all wrong.
Oh my gosh.
Milkshake's my cut.
Is it you?
Can we at least agree on the flavor?
Nope. Because we're going to talk 3 more minutes about milkshakes. Let's get right into it.
That brings all the girls of the yard.
Let's get into some Ask Vickie. Vickie is our psychic medium. She is our ghost, not hunter.
Scouter.
Ghost scouter. Our first question to Vickie is there ever a case where a spirit is gone forever? For example, it's so bad that it's not fixable as a soul. It's basically deleted from existence. Does that ever happen, or does everything still keep it moving?
You would still exist. You would exist on the other side as far as coming back in visitation or being earthbound or something like that. That can cease to exist. You can choose not to come in visitation, but you just don't stop existing. It would either be here or on the other side.
So there's no way an entity of any sorts can just be destroyed, gone forever. Banished, gone, never to be seen or heard from again.
No, because even if it's banished, it's hopefully going to transition to where it needs to be. You can banish a spirit if it's earthbound. You can banish them from certain places, but they're not banished forever. They don't just evaporate.
So you can't delete a son of a bitch, Beckett.
Banished is such a great word.
It's a great word.
Oh, it has such a connotation.
People
to
should
it.
use that in breakups. You're banished.
You're banished. You're banished from my block.
Exactly.
From this abode.
I love it.
Be gone.
Next question for Vickie. Can Vickie talk about how possession works? We think our 13-year-old niece is possessed by spirit, not necessarily a demon. Is there a difference between the two? And if so, how? She could just be a teenager.
Right. Yeah, that was the first thing I'd check out. But demonic possession, first of all, is extremely rare. It's not common at all. There are people that would even argue with you that demons even exist. So if we're looking at demonic, it comes in stages. First is infestation, where you're going to have paranormal activity in your home. Then you're going to have oppression. So the person that's the target, you're going to see that they're going to start to not sleep. They may have a change in their eating habits. There's a lot of changes because they're trying to get them in a weakened state so that the possession could occur at some point. Human spirits, honestly, from what I have researched and experienced, they do more jumping than they do like long-term residence inside of a body. Like, it could be that, let's just say you're a person who likes to drink and it's a human spirit that used to like to drink. They may jump into your body, especially if you're in an altered mind state at that time. With drugs and alcohol and things like that, it weakens your defense mechanism. So they're just going to jump in and they're going to get their high, and then they'll jump back out when they're done.
Yeah, I've had a lot of issues here of late, inside and out, where I even said it last week, but it's continued, where I've had people here saying, I feel like something's looking at me. I feel like something's in the corner right now. This is very, it's happening a lot. My one question to you was, do you see an uptick per season? Is there a season, a weather climate that ghosts tend to, I mean, if humans, they move down to Florida or they visit Florida down for the winter or the summer, can't spirits do the same thing?
I mean, it can come in waves as far as the activity. I mean, some people would argue that, full moon, high humidity levels, or any kind of moisture in the air can be conducive to activity. There's a lot of things scientifically people have looked at. As far as my investigations, 365. If there's something there, it doesn't matter the season.
You bring up full moon. I believe we are in the process of having a very, very large full moon as of tomorrow.
Is it waxing?
It's supposed to be a big one. It's supposed to be some kind of pink.
Is it harvest?
I don't know about that, Beckett. Don't put words in my mouth, please. I got it written down over here. Yeah,
It's waxing gibbous right now, so it's 99.79% visible.
Yeah, they say June's full
Monday.
month will include several special traits for sky watchers. I need my glasses. It's called the
Luke Skywatchers.
June 21st. So tomorrow it's going down. If you're acting a fool, or you're acting weird, or your emotions are all over the place,
Blame it on the moon.
blame it on the moon, full moon sensitivity.
On a Friday.
Don't get the crazies excuse.
No, I'm not. But Vickie said it last time, which turned into a topic on the morning show. You as a teacher seeing a difference in the children's behavior when there's a full moon out.
Absolutely.
And you wonder.
Hospitals as well always report a lot more accidents
Emergency
on full moons.
rooms, yeah.
Yeah, they're saying it's going to be low in the sky. It's also going to be very, very large tomorrow.
Large and low.
Strawberry full moon.
Strawberry.
Sounds delicious.
That was your milkshake, wasn't it?
I don't mind a strawberry. I like strawberry better, but yeah, no, I like a strawberry. Vanilla is probably my favorite shake, though, Beckett. If you still want to talk about these fucking shakes.
That's
I'd
like
say
the
strawberry.
missionary style of milkshakes.
What?
He's saying
That's like
that's
the missionary.
Basic.
It's the most missionary style of milkshakes.
Vanilla?
Yeah.
Well, not if you get it with chocolate too. Then throw some peanut butter
Then it's not vanilla.
and then some chocolate. Okay, then I'm just trying to get you off my ass. Vickie, can ghosts enter your dreams and haunt you, much like a Freddy Krueger situation?
Oh yeah, the easiest way for spirits to interact is through our dreams, because we are not sitting there denying their existence. We're in, again, an altered state that they can just step right into, and they can step in as many times as they want to. I mean, it's not going to ultimately be like a Freddy where you're going to die from it, but they can definitely haunt you in your dreams.
I'll be very impressed if anybody can. The only person I think that might be able to get this is Ponton. It is a 80s horror line. You guys have to finish it. I've got the body. You've got
the time.
what?
Brains.
Ponton got it first.
What did he say?
The brains. I've got the brain. Yeah. We'll watch it later, Beckett.
So the first Nightmare on Elm Street is great. I feel like those kind of go down the same path of a lot of those. They start getting a little goofier as they go on.
So I watched Freddy Krueger when I was a kid, where I had to like hide behind. I'm just being candid. A pillow to watch it, like type phase of my life. And one of my favorite parts was when he had this part, and I forget which one it was, where he goes, "You forgot the power glove."
Oh, that's a whack Freddy Krueger. Damn, bitch boy. You scared of Ponton.
That's a 90s.
Yeah, man. You scared that whack ass
I'm
Freddy.
a millennial.
That's funny. That's the line.
Oh, it's great. That's my favorite line.
No, the first one's the only scary
Because
one.
I had a power glove.
Then they got goofy.
I had a power glove.
Those were cool. I played with one once.
Oh, it was a big. It was so ahead of its time. There's no power gloves now.
The other one I
You're
liked is
Power
further
pad.
on where
Yeah.
the woman, the girl from the first one, and she's an adult and she has a child. That one's pretty good too.
I know which one you're speaking
yeah,
of.
I don't know which number, 65. I don't know.
I think it's four. I used to have a crush on her. Nancy. I
Yeah.
loved her as a kid. Loved her. Let's see here. Oh, Vickie, great job. Anything you add? Any kind of?
Just going back to the 13-year-old, regardless of whether it is, a human or possibly demonic, the first thing anybody who is reputable is going to ask them to do is to go and have a psychological evaluation.
Rule that out first.
Yes.
Because back in the day, we did this thing where we feel like we got somebody possessed. Now, not by a demon. We did some kind of a seance. And this woman's husband, this was at the Lake Worth Playhouse. We did a whole seance with all these death psychics. And that's when our old producer, Mariana, she brought her dog there, and the dog got sick. She had to leave with the dog. I ended up staying there by myself in the Lake Worth Playhouse, trying to, do what I do my art. And but it was pretty insane how this guy got taken over, and he started talking like this. Now, could it have been him and the lady in cahoots behind the scenes? Of course it could have been. But my whole thing was he seemed to have been possessed by something, because his girlfriend reached out to us after and go, he's cursing at the sky, he's yelling at God, he's trying to dig, he's trying to eat bones. And this is all after that seance. Now, is that a demon, or could that just be a spirit fucking him over?
Well, I mean, you would have had to have had other steps occur in order for it to be a demonic possession. Plus, I said they're very rare. I mean, it could also be power of suggestion. You're in an atmosphere where you're calling for these spirits to come around and do that. Just no offense to people who go to these types of churches, but when people get caught up in the Holy Spirit and they're in that type of church and, they're laying out and they're speaking in tongues and this, that, and the other, people could argue that that's like, hysterical situation based on what's going on.
And the only reason why I don't think it was that was because we knew this woman very well, and she wasn't. I mean, I guess she could have been a liar, but she said, "Jason, there's something really wrong with him. It's because of the seance. It's after he's never acted like this before." And I guess my quick question would be, you can be taken over by a spirit that's not a demon.
Yes. And always be careful what you ask for.
How do you get rid of that? If you are taken over by just a spirit, do you just say, "Bitch, get out"?
Yeah, or you have somebody else. I mean, you can do a cleansing on yourself. You can have somebody else assist. And human spirits can't live indefinitely in your body. So eventually they'll kind of expel themselves.
Kind of like you poop out the spirit, so to speak.
I think it's more like a pimple.
You pop that thing.
That's right.
Popping, pooping, it's all the same thing at the end of the day, Beckett. Vickie, very great job, as always. We love it. We love it so much. Let's get a Ponton out here in the wild. Ponton in the wild. Mr. Joe Ponton, he is our eyes and ears out there on the street. He also just broke one of my toys and ripped down one of my curtains. I'm not sure if you could see that, but there's a bit of a calamity behind the scenes. Mr. Ponton, welcome. How is your kidney stone?
I'm stone free.
You're stone free. Very, very nice.
Stony Curtis.
Glad to hear that.
So these scan your kidney and they can tell you if
No,
there's...
I just know I haven't had any issues for a week and 5 days.
But my question, and this is selfish, can they scan your kidney and let you know if there's any other things that are matriculating that are possible in the future?
Absolutely. They do a CAT scan. They'll actually see that on a CAT scan.
So you don't have any in the future?
I haven't had a CAT scan in 5 years.
Oh, okay.
So
we
actually,
don't know.
for Bigfoot's last surgery was the last time I had a CAT scan. to check to
My
see if I had
buddy,
stones.
Bigfoot.
Right.
Yeah,
Sorry.
it's all right. So my question for you is, you went to Vickie. Tell me about this psychic thing you went to.
So week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago actually, Vickie came to my house. We did a psychic reading party. We actually did a dinner party, but everybody cooked. We had 12 people there, Vickie? 10 people, something like that?
I don't know. I was up in a room.
Yeah. We locked her in a room for 2.5, 3 hours, and she just did readings. And everybody came down. It was an amazing, amazing night. Everybody was raving about how awesome Vickie was. 2 friends came down. Hold on a second. I'm a little out of breath. Old and fat. That's not the way to live life, I'm telling you. But everybody came downstairs after they met up with Vickie, said how incredible the night was. One of my very good friends, Morgan, her dad died 3 days before my dog Chandler died. And she was one of the ones that I was really hopeful that Vickie would get a chance to read. I know Morgan went up. She came downstairs bawling, just with the hugest smile on her face, saying she nailed everything. My dad, Joe, came in, and it was just an awesome, awesome reading. I don't want to take anything from Vickie, but yeah, you were pretty amazing last Saturday.
Wow, that is an amazing idea. There's a what's the best way to put it? Not to make it it's just such an amazing thing, entertaining. Because I've come up with a bunch of different ideas, but to have someone as quality as Vickie is, with close friends and family, I haven't even thought about that.
It was awesome.
All right.
It was a great idea she gave us around Christmas time, and I said I can't wait to do it. Sorry, Beckett, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Vickie, when you have to do a bunch of people like that, does it exhaust you? Is that the equivalent of you throwing two games as a pitcher?
No.
Or going 19 rounds as a boxer?
No, the only time that it drains me is if the party is like an hour away, and I think it's more the driving that drains me than it is the back-to-back people that come in. I think that I typically do readings over the phone, but I think a lot of people like that personal touch because I guess even though they've heard things about me and they see me on the podcast, they still have that little bit of doubt in the back of their head that I'm not sitting there on my phone Googling something while I'm reading for them. And if we're face-to-face, then they know I'm sitting there looking them in the eye and giving that information that there's no way I can know.
What does the Vickie bundle cost? If you want to do, because people are going to ask me, I want to do a Vickie psychic party. What do you charge, and what's the minimum and maximum of people you want there?
Okay, it's for a party that's back to back. Every person gets 15-minute private reading, and it's $40 per person. And minimum would be at least 5. Maximum, I've done 12 before.
What if someone said, "I love Vickie"? It might be a lot. I got 76 people here.
Yeah, that's a bit much. Yeah, I mean, I would worry about the quality of the reading if I did more than 12. But I have done 12 before. But anybody who is interested, I do have 2 events coming up where I'm going to be in person if they want to look me in the eye. I have one coming up at Barnes & Noble's on the 29th if they want to schedule an appointment. And I have one in the Pizzle on July 6th.
And if someone wants to get a hold of you, your information?
They can go on Facebook and they can find me on Readings by Vickie, Vickie, or they can send me an email at nancy38drew@aol.com.
Very good. Mr. Ponton, I did have a question for you before I bring Dennys back over here for Dennys Random Facts. Yes, I'm teasing your segment, Dennys. My question to you, Mr. Ponton, I feel like a lawyer right now. Has Ponton ever seen someone try and harm the turtle eggs out there on the beach? I got into a fist fight with a drunk guy who kept destroying them. That was in Lake Worth. Do you see the same kind of madness in the northern part of the county?
There was a mother and son who 2 years ago, they were being watched by a lot of different people because they were actually invading the nests, and they would grab a couple of eggs. So the turtles, they dig about 18 inches down below the sand surface. So the eggs are pretty well protected, but people would just stand there, and this mother-son combo, they were caught, I guess it was about 2.5 years ago. They were caught invading a bunch of nests and stealing eggs.
What an asshole.
Yeah, massive asshole.
Yeah, we say something to that son of a bitch. Did you say anything to him?
I mean, you know me. I'm a pacifist, but fucking don't mess with my turtle eggs.
What'd you say?
I actually just said, hey, that's very illegal, and I am not afraid to walk over there and walk you guys up to the stairs.
Did you say, what the shell is
Probably
going
not
on
that,
here?
but, something along the lines. And I also called. I have a bunch of friends that work for FWC because I've done this for 12 years now. So It's fun.
Very good. Well, Mr. Ponton, let us know what's out there on the streets, out there on the beaches, out there in the world. Very
Thanks,
good,
guys.
Mr. Ponton. All right, well, with that said, I think it might be time for some
Dennys Random Facts.
Oh, our sweet Dennys does a great job. He hunts. He is a hunter. He hunts for these factoids. He tries to educate us. He tries to make us learn, be better. Vickie is our educator. If she loves what he has to say, she gives him an A. If she hates it, she can give him an F, give him a D. Dennys, the floor is yours.
It could be any of the above. All right. A study of 2.3 million people found those who reported the best mental health and stress resilience, which also boosted their overall well-being, had one thing in common. They ate a lot of cheese. Eating cheese plays a role in being healthy and aging healthily. The study was done to see if mental well-being how to improve mental well-being, and to see if mental well-being actually does improve your life, and it does in every sense of the way possible. But a lot of people are wondering, why would cheese cause people to be happier? It actually causes people to be 3.67% happier when eating it, compared to fruit, which is 1.96% according to this study. Whereas negative stats would be watching too much television, like binging something, would lower you about 7.39%. But they would say maybe because humans found cheese really early, we drink milk when we're born. But no, they actually found out that when you eat cheese, it causes you to release dopamine, and cheese can actually become addictive. It has addictive properties of eating too much.
You're looking at someone who's got that cheese monkey on its back.
Oh, yeah. It's casomorphines. They attach to the neural receptors, and it stimulates the release of dopamine, providing minor stress relief and a euphoric sensation in minor doses, which is why cheese literally can be addictive.
It's so weird you bring that up, because my dad had like a lecture with me going, Jay-Bird, you're eating too much cheese. I think it's going to kill you.
Yeah, it has tyramine, which triggers the feeling of happiness and faint feelings of love.
I can tell you I'm more of a happier son of a bitch when I got some cheese in my belly. You give me pizza, I'm happy.
Chocolate does a similar
You
thing.
give me some grapes, I may smirk, but I ain't going to say I'm going to give you, I'm not showing you all my pearlies.
So the cool thing about this study is they tested everything. It was 2.3 million people they tested this on across the globe.
It's a big study.
Humongous study. It was done for a long time, and really they were trying to discover, is mental health what makes you a healthy human, comparing it to factors such as your personal lifespan, your family's lifespan, heredity. Do you have any diseases? Are you high income? Are you low income? They measured tons of things, and the one commonality they noticed across the board was if you ate fruits and cheeses, you tended to be more mentally resilient and would be happier. And I think it's because those foods release that endorphin in your head or whatever, much like chocolate.
So if I'm all pissy walking around, oh, Bird didn't eat cheese today.
Yeah, I think it's more of a, if you do it over time, continually, you'll feel the benefits of it, opposed to just freebasing some cheese.
In your life, though, out of everybody in your life,
I would just say don't cut that one out.
who eats the most cheese that you know?
You definitely eat the most cheese that I know.
I just wanted some
It's not
respect.
even comparable.
Just wanted some-
I'd much rather be mentally healthy than physically healthy.
Me too.
Well,
So
so
this is like a no-brainer.
the study said that mental health is far more important than
Without a
anything.
doubt,
The
'cause-
second most important was your intake, what you...
Without a doubt, you know the old cliche, if you don't have your health, like, you know, you don't have anything, or whatever the cliche is. Like, if you don't have mental health, it doesn't matter if you have a six-pack, abs.
It's true.
Right? Like, your mental health is the most important.
It's
It's all foundational.
your thoughts are what drive everything in your life.
100%.
You can't make a sandwich. You can't drive a car. You can't do anything without having a thought first. So if you got fucked up thoughts, you got fucked up feelings. You got fucked up feelings, you got a fucked up life. So to me, thoughts are the most important. And to your point, Beckett, if you're lucky enough to be on this rock long enough, you
Yeah.
start to age and you realize no matter what you do, you're not going to be that youthful. You can maintain, but you're not going to get your youth. And people, I think, sometimes struggle with that.
100%.
They really said just doing a little bit of walking outside, changing your diet to just incorporate a little more fruit, a little more cheese, more whole things. It really, it's not that much. A lot of the stresses, they said, even wealthy people had other stresses. Humans by nature will cause
You're
stressors.
starting to sound like a Parisian.
Vicky, we've got thoughts and talkings of
Eat more
cheese, and we've got
I figured the
grapes and
cheese would
fruits.
get
We've
you.
got rich people and thoughts and aging opinions.
Well, I had to take myself out of it because I don't like cheese. But in honor of my mom and my daughter, who total cheeseheads, I will give it an A.
Nice.
I guess my question is, who the fuck doesn't like cheese?
We used to work with. We worked with somebody who didn't like
No,
cheese.
I know. Honestly, I meet more people that don't like cheese than I thought was even possible.
So I can eat it in moderation, but everybody, they said anyone that was in the study that had high mental health across the board, that was the one stat that was unified across the board.
the one thing I've noticed when it comes to cheese is there's a lot of people who suffer from the IBS, the IBS, and they go, I can't do pizza because it completely
So-
just
Is that
throws.
a lactose thing?
I think so.
Yeah. Well, so if I eat 1 or 2 slices of pizza, I'm cool. If I eat like 3 or more, then yeah, I have like whatever that would be. I think it's because my body's like, bro.
I'm more in the
Like, what
I'm
are
more
you
in the Jaybird
doing?
camp. I can house a whole box.
Oh, I'd be writhing.
I have a stomach like a fucking
You
mule.
guys
Mine too.
Yeah, I could eat garbage. I
Yeah.
could eat tin.
Yeah,
and okay.
I'm like a goat.
I'm 2 and I tap out.
The only thing I can't, the hot sauce really drops me.
Oh.
I think I'm allergic to it.
I can eat the hottest hot sauce. We should do it.
You like Thai restaurants? They have the ones that are.
When I go to a Thai restaurant, I ask them for Thai spicy. Where the lady taking my order goes, oh, you want Thai spicy? She's surprised I even know because it usually goes 1 to 5 stars.
You're like, I
And the
know.
fact that I go above the 1 to 5 stars and I know the lingo, and I'm like Thai spicy. She goes, ooh.
Nobody likes a bragger, Beckett. Sounds like you're bragging.
I'm just
Vicky,
spitting facts.
Vicky, what are your thoughts on a grade for that?
Oh, you gave him an
That's
A.
it.
Okay, sorry, my bad. I apologize.
For Asiago.
Very, very good, Dennys.
Yeah.
That was
I
good.
got cheese on recall. What do you guys think about this one? Tattooing was a fad among Victorian aristocrats, especially women. They hid all their ink, especially since at the time it was still associated with criminals, but it gained popularity with the upper ranks because you kind of had like a secret that you're hiding. People that had these would be King Edward VII, all his sons. Winston Churchill's mother had a bunch of tats as well. The fad spread to the U.S., where they said at one point about 75% of the upper-class women were tattooed in the 1880s. The cool part about it is some of the richer people would not want the pain or the anxiety that would come with tattooing. So how did the Victorians handle everything? They just added cocaine to it. So they would add cocaine
No
to
wonder
the
they're
ink.
so happy.
So while they would tattoo you, it would numb you. That's what, they would put cocaine right in the ink.
Love it.
All right.
Problem
well,
solved.
Cocaine, ink.
Yeah, I'm stuck between a B and a C for that one. So
C for cocaine.
Yeah, I know. That's why he had to throw in the cocaine there.
Give it a C plus.
Isn't it funny? That's what
Make him work for it. He's been kind of high.
Yeah, C plus.
High on
yeah.
cocaine.
I'll go with C.
She gotta keep you
Yeah, you're right. Otherwise, I get lazy. Hey, you guys know the drill.
hanging out with Beckett. Him and his fucking hot palate over there.
You know the drill. So there's a lot of things I like about medicine and our advancements in technology. And this one I think is cool. It's just funny how we got to this point. So in 2013, scientists were able to grow a human tooth from scratch from stem cells from urine. They took urine and they used the stem cells from that and they made a tooth. Then after they did that, they go, that was probably one of the worst sources we could have ever used. We did that intentionally to see if we could grow a tooth from one of the worst stem cell samples you could possibly get. Well, anyway, fast forward to 2024, this year, September, Japanese scientists are going to kick off the world's first clinical trial to regrow teeth.
Wow.
Not on a rat or a creature, but to start growing them from your own mouth. So phase 1 trial in September is designated to ensure the treatment is safe. It'll involve 30 healthy male participants who are missing at least one back tooth.
I'm sure it's gonna be real cheap to replace a tooth that way. It'll still be a shit ton of money.
2013, they do it in urine. Then we hear about it in 2018ish. They're doing it in rats' backs, which is kind of gross.
yeah, I
And
remember
now they're trying to do it just from the cells from your mouth.
It's amazing.
Vicky, you look disgusted. Thoughts?
It's pretty gross.
But I like it. That's an A. As long as at some point it becomes affordable.
It will. It's not going to be for another like 10 years.
I don't know if teeth stuff is ever going to be affordable.
Yeah,
They
good
really
call.
are, with or without them taking them teeth and doing all that fancy shit. They're gonna charge you an arm and a leg.
It's true. Well, so the reason that they couldn't do it with the rat back and the urine tooth was that it didn't have a root or any sort of anything. It was just an empty shell, and it was brittle from the urine. It was actually structurally sound from the rat back, but when they grow it from the mouth like this, it'll grow a root as well. They're trying to add that extra elements in there.
It's awfully close to rat pack.
I like it.
All right.
Vickie,
I think so,
you
yeah.
seem kind of what's the word? Disappointed.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it would be great if this could actually happen. You know, I'd end up with like one from Timu or something. You know,
Oh yeah, yeah.
a discount version.
I like the Dennys. I'd give it an A, but I'm not the educator here.
Yeah, A.
I think,
Okay,
I think
very
she
good.
gave me an A.
That's good.
I was
wanna make sure.
pontificating on the topic while I had you guys' attention.
I didn't do that C+ kind of hard.
All right, so I teased this on the video beforehand. During the Great Depression, onions were common and they were easily grown and easily stored. So there was an abundance. So for a lot of people that grew it, it was a free thing that they could give out in their community. Meanwhile, peanut butter was also very inexpensive. So the Bureau of Home Economics devised this recipe for peanut butter stuffed onions as an easy way for American homemakers to feed their families. The recipe gained popularity, was published in 1930s newspapers and magazines, and it was a healthy, tasty, simple, low-cost meal that they could serve any time of day. It's a onion stuffed with peanut butter and sprinkled with stale breadcrumbs.
Did we do that for a punishment? That sounds so familiar.
Well, I brought all the ingredients for it. I was going to make it for you guys and then see what you guys think of it. I brought some breadcrumbs, some onions, and some peanut butter.
Sounds like a G.
Jeez, show and tell.
Yes.
I like it. Very good.
I'm
Sounds
gonna
like a
get you
bloomin'.
extra credit though.
Sounds like a bloomin' onion.
You've had it before, Ponton. Get on the microphone real quick. Describe what it tastes like.
I know somebody that's had it, and he said it's awful, absolutely awful. Because onions are, yeah. What do you get from the onion? You get that awful.
You get the awful taste,
Yeah,
awful moments.
well, it's just so pungent of a flavor right off the top. Oh, it's Dennys.
The way they described it, they said it was very distasteful, very disliked when it came out. People actually revolted against
Well,
it.
yeah, it's fucking terrible. I'm revolting against it now in modern day times.
God, Denny's bringing props. I can't compete with this.
Did you bring props today?
I did.
You always bring props.
You know that prop-
But it's not like this.
So if you're listening just on audio, Dennys is taking raw onions. That's way too much fucking onion, dog.
Just take a bite.
Is this like a joint where I'll take a bite and
Well,
pass
no,
it?
I'm making everybody one.
Oh my gosh, Dennys, I do not want to eat this. All right, I'm going in.
Just take a bite of the corner.
Fucking terrible,
Take a
dog.
bite of the corner. Here,
I'm so mad.
No, why you got to sell it for the guys here?
I got a what?
Does it need a little cheese on it?
Oh my god, that is so disgusting.
That might have just been a bad bite.
I'm actually stoked.
Oh, I hate it.
Oh, jeez.
Vickie,
It just tastes like peanut butter to me.
no way. Beckett's gonna love
When
it.
after
best
you
thing I've ever
swallow,
had.
Get out of here.
It's the best thing I've ever had.
You out of your mind.
Get out of here.
I'm gonna eat the rest of the onion.
Ponton one here.
It's the best thing ever.
Denny's, you got the knife off the floor.
Man, that's the least. Oh, dude, I was not ready for this shit.
This is so good.
Becky, get the fuck out of my
You're
house.
lying.
Leave. Get out of my
I'm eating
house.
the rest of the onion.
There's
It
no
just
way
tastes like peanut
you
butter.
like raw onion.
Love raw.
You guys love it.
Obsessed.
It's one of the least favorite things on the planet.
I'm not gonna lie. I don't actually hate that.
I don't hate it.
That's great.
Oh yeah, we're ending the podcast right now.
I just ate a whole slice of onion. There.
So did I.
But now I have onion fingers. So.
I know it smells terrible.
I know. I got onions everywhere. I ruined this corner here.
It smells like my 7th grade PE teacher now.
My girlfriend's gonna hate me after the podcast.
Oh, Beckett, girlfriend. All right.
All right. Okay.
Yeah. Look at that. Someone's outing himself. It only took a peanut butter onion.
And some
Dude.
J-Bo.
I can't tell you how much I hated that. But it's so. I'm reading the comments. Anna, raw onion is so good. I like raw onion. Nate C. People love raw onion, and it blows
So good.
my mind.
So if you want to make it, get an onion, scoop the middle out, put peanut butter on it, sprinkle breadcrumbs, and then just take a bite of it.
I stand with the old timers.
I would just recommend cutting it so that you have like an onion chip and you
yeah.
scoop it like a Frito.
I think we
kind
could
of
really
thing.
improve this one.
You know, what I think would be
Yes.
great is if the onion was sautéed.
Well,
in
that's
there.
so. Here's the
Then it's a little caramelized. and it's
That's
a little
different
sweet.
than a raw onion, in my
I
opinion.
totally agree.
I like a caramelized onion. I love an onion ring.
Yeah.
I like McDonald's diced onion. There's
Yeah.
things I like about onion. Bullshit raw onion from Publix is horse shizzit.
Yeah, he gave you raw dog.
I did.
I
I
mean,
did.
I don't think you gave me enough fucking onion. It's like an onion octopus.
Oh my god, we're gonna have to vacuum it here. I apologize.
It's all right. It's okay. Please don't stain anything on the stains.
Meanwhile, Vickie's onion and peanut butter is still sitting here on the table.
Yeah.
No, that's good. Hopefully we can really let the onion juice kind of marinate within.
Hey, I'm not the one that brought the props in, okay? I'm doing the best I can.
There's a lot of layers.
It's gonna smell terrible. You
Here.
ruined the studio.
Here.
Oh, my breath is
There's
so
a lot of layers.
roughest
Put
breath.
it on top. of
All right. Are you ending on that or give us-
Yeah, I'm ending on
All
that
right.
one.
Very,
Yeah.
very good.
I gotta clean it up.
He's got props. We love it. We need it.
You guys did some great depression food right there.
That is. I think we did talk about that before. That
It's a
sounds
pretty
quite
rough dish.
Let's get tech it with Beckett. It's time for your segment. He just outpropped your ass.
He did outprop me, and I brought a prop. And I know usually I go a little risque, and it's a little bit more fun. Jaybird's going to be annoyed at this one, but I'm going to do it anyways because I've been obsessed with it. I think, by the way, on this note, it's time for some rebuilding Bird and for some rebuilding Beckett because I got a little soft lately. So,
Hold on. I smell an insult. This is Virginia's act.
no, I said mine.
Go on.
I said I got soft. So I'm going to hold it up to the camera. See this little guy with the little orange clip?
Well, go ahead. Explain to the audience what it is.
So this is
When you
called
say little guy with an orange clip, they think you're holding a, I don't know,
penis.
like a dog or something.
So this is called Stride. So it's a little clip that goes on my tennis shoe. And this thing does everything in a run, stride, walk analysis. So this thing is going to basically help change my gait.
All
on
right.
everything I do. And on the next Tech It with Beckett, I'm going to show what I'm doing on the bike and the treadmill. I do a gaming system where it gives analytics on the treadmill and the bike. By the way, this bit's going to make me go broke. But but this thing is the coolest thing ever. So it helps correct your walking and your running, and it gives a total stride analysis on how you're running, walking, everything. And on the video game that I'll bring up next week, it communicates with my iPhone, my app, which is called Swift, and everything I do, it does my cadence, everything. It is absolutely mind-blowing.
So if we put this on Bird for 3 days or whatever, and it learned his walk, it
Yeah.
would tell you, it would grade his walk.
It
Essentially.
would say if he walked like an Egyptian or if he was doing it right.
Beckett, I'm onion drunk right now. My man doing dad joke. I got no kids.
You don't need kids for dad jokes.
you're totally right.
You're proof.
You're very right about.
But this stride analysis, I know the audience can let us know. Like, do they want me to stick to sex toys? But this thing is one of the coolest things that I've ever had.
That's pretty cool. So what's your end game? Do you feel your walk is slightly off? Does it help your posture? Does it help your back sleeping, your back, your muscles?
So when you go, when Nike came out, most people, when they ran barefoot for millions of years, you had to run a certain way. Mm-hmm. And when Nike came out in the 70s or whatever, they're like, we're going to change how humans run. And we're going to make them more efficient. And we're going to have humans land with a heel strike because a more elongated stride is going to make them more efficient. Well, that caused runner injury, right? Because that's not how humans, it caused like tension up the spine, everything. And it caused, that's why the barefoot running movement came back, because people run wrong because of what Nike tried to put on humans, right? It's like anytime humans get involved and they say, hey, we're going to make something better, like monosaturated fats or nutrition or whatever, we end up going back to how it used to be. So basically, this helps work out your stride on how it's supposed to be by a microchip in your shoe.
And are you supposed to walk on the toe side, that pad area?
You're
first?
supposed to land not if you're sprinting, you're supposed to land on the toes of your feet. If you're running long distance or normal distance, you're supposed to land more in the in the middle of your foot.
It's weird because I always had comments about the way I walked my entire life. People have always just said they've had a comment about my gait, my bounce. Even my grandma, as a kid, I would walk on the balls of my feet. I mean, I did that up until probably 2021. I kind of started to change my walking, but my grandma was so concerned about that. And this is what she was afraid of. She told my parents, she goes, "Oh, I'm so afraid Jason is going to work at Disney World and sell balloons because he walks on the balls of his feet."
Well, that means she thought you were gay.
That's not what she meant.
Yeah. Well,
That's not what she meant back then.
My family, when I was in middle school, because I liked hair products and took long showers, they thought I was homosexual. It was the whole thing.
That's not what my grandma thought, but
Maybe you didn't know it.
no, we don't have to get into any of that. But so those shoes.
So this is the power duration curve. So it has an app that syncs up with the microchip, and it goes through all your analysis. Oh, is it? Yeah.
Just so they can see it.
Anyways, so it does a whole, I don't know if it uses AI, but it goes through a whole analysis and helps you change your gait.
I mean, it's cool.
All right, so chat room, if you liked Beckett's Tech It with Beckett tonight, give me a 1 in the chat room. If you did not like that segment, give me a 2. 1 is good, 2 is bad. Grade them and go down.
My thesis is they're gonna like more like the naughty, salacious stuff.
We're gonna let the audience. We're gonna let them. You gave the Shark Tank pitch.
That's cool. You can.
We'll give them what they want.
How much was those shoes, by the way?
The shoes or the chip?
Or I'm sorry, the sensor. I mean.
I think it was like $150.
So then it syncs up to an app, and then you said there's a game or something that goes with it.
Oh, so the game is a whole different thing that I'm going to bring up next week. This is just like an accessory that when you're running on the treadmill or whatever, it syncs up with it and gives you more crazy, awesome data.
So I said if 1 was good.
Oh, there's a lot of ones.
And 2 is bad.
Oh, a lot of 2s?
It's right now it's even. Well, 2's.
A lot of 2s?
It's right now you haven't passed the class yet. You have a final exam. You have to pass.
It's not a rabbit. I was thinking about bringing a rabbit in.
A rabbit?
Yeah.
Like an animal, or are you talking about the sex toy?
The sex toy.
What would you, just real quick, in 90 seconds or less?
Why we're asking what the audience wants.
Well, just in 90 seconds or less, give me what would be your Tech It with Beckett. This is another Shark Tank pitch real quick.
Okay.
So you have 90 seconds to give us your best pitch. And the audience, again, will be involved if they want to hear it next week.
Okay.
Let's use 7 and 8 this time instead of 1 and 2.
How about 6 and 9?
Oh, I love it. 6 and 9.
6, you love it. 9, you're like, nah.
All right.
All right, you have 90 seconds to pitch to our audience why you should do a rabbit Tech It with Beckett. And go.
The only reason I was going to bring it up is because this is it's one of probably arguably the most pop culture, well-known sex toys that are out there. Rabbit for women does double stimulation. It's a huge brand. It's like the Xerox of copying, right? Or the Kleenex of tissues. So it's something that I would offer to the audience.
So you want to bring it in and show us what it does?
Okay, he had a lot of time left on that clock, y'all. And
That's
an
easy pitch.
You guys are now the judge and jury of one Ryan Beckett. Ryan Beckett is on trial, and you guys decide: do you want to hear about the rabbit, or is he?
I throw myself to the mercy of the court.
Or is he banished? From ever doing that for a week. He loses his privileges for Tech It with Beckett. So there's a lot of 9s coming.
Seen a lot of 9s coming in.
Coming in, dog.
What do we? What does 9 mean?
Not good.
The rabbit's not good.
I think it's gonna weird people out. You bring in a vibrator in here.
Too much.
And then what do you do? I think they all know what it is. So now you're just like, hey guys, look. I like to put this on.
That's a good point.
Yeah. At this point now, It's letting a sexual madman just kind of do
Roam free in the
do
room
his
with
thing
us.
on a live broadcast. I don't know.
Everybody's like, bro, it'd be weird.
Vickie, I see you make a lot of faces.
No, it would be fun to go after him, though, if he actually got to do it.
It would be fun because the jokes and then the comments, the roast of Beckett would then ensue.
Well, then I can never run for office because then I have video of me like.
Here comes the
That means nothing.
It
Don't
means
worry about it.
nothing. It means nothing.
Not anymore.
No.
No.
Not anymore.
In fact, that's kind of benign
Yeah.
when
It
it
actually
comes
probably help.
kind of politics. All right, well, very good, Mr. Beckett.
Thank you.
We are we're gonna we'll talk
I
about
like audience feedback.
yeah.
Oh, they got plenty of it.
We don't have 1-6.
I didn't see one come
There's
through
not
on that second.
6. Okay, our next little topic here. My husband lost his mother recently. He's taken it very hard. He has mentioned to me that he wants to dig up her body and bring her back to life. He says that he has the technology to do it. Obviously, he doesn't. He's just grieving so bad that he's having delusions. I'm not going to lie. If I found out he tried digging up his mother, I wouldn't be surprised. He refuses to go to therapy. What should I do? We haven't made love in 6 months. I'm losing my mind. Vickie, I'd like to get your perspective on this.
I mean, I know it says that he doesn't want to go to therapy. I almost think just catch him out there with a shovel and call the police on him, and then maybe they'd force some therapy on him. That's just not healthy on any level whatsoever.
It's not, and let's say you are married to somebody where you're imagine you're married to Jen, as you are, so it's easy to imagine. And then all of a sudden, she loses somebody, and she's talking about digging up the body, and she doesn't want to get help. She doesn't want to do therapy, Dennys, but you know she probably needs it, but she won't do it. How do you handle
Yeah,
that?
that's tough. I mean,
You don't want to divorce her.
well, no, but you want to, kind of like Vickie's suggesting, you want to set up a situation where somebody else would see the behavior just so it's not you. Because it can be very easy for somebody in that situation to think you're a bad guy or a bad person now, or against them, especially if they're already feeling some of these extreme ways, So I would try to make sure other people were understanding what's happening.
I mean, our chat room's pretty understanding. I'm your Huckleberry said, get her a rabbit.
That's the way.
You don't have to worry about your husband and his delusions. Just get the rabbit.
Yeah, it works.
Everything will be okay.
You're right. I've seen some sixes pop through now.
So our chat room,
We're
very,
coming around.
very, very
They
concerned.
turned that 9 upside down.
Very concerned. Turn that 9 upside down. Beckett, no more whiskey for Beckett. Or more whiskey for Beckett. I don't know. Yeah, that'd be tough. That's always a fear. Is when you do get married to somebody, then all of a sudden they just completely do a 180 on you.
Yeah, it can happen. Eat that cheese. Keep that mental health high.
Eat that cheese, get that rabbit. I mean,
Yeah,
it's the
cheese.
small things, guys.
solving problems.
So I think it's kind of on topic. I had someone I was really close to. She lost her dog that was her baby, so to speak. Very, very close. And the dog passed away, and she wanted to taxidermy it and like have it stuffed and like the whole deal. And it wasn't for me, like it wasn't going to affect me, but I talked her out of it. I was like, listen, like I don't think this is mentally healthy. She was trying to latch on to it. Like I've lost animals, like we all have. Like it's tough. I get it. It's really tough. In my opinion, and what I explained to her, I just didn't think it was a healthy thing to do. And it was when it was all raw emotion, and I was like, I just don't think that's the right thing to deal with loss.
I've always said when I pass on, Vickie, and I do think I'm going to go before all y'all. I think I'm going to go early. If I do, you guys can absolutely stuff me and bring me around. Taxiderm this ass, baby. I don't care. I don't give a shit.
I'll put you in the wizard nook.
Put me in a
I was
nook,
going
man.
to say, where's he going to go?
Put
Are we
him-
sharing custody?
I would love that. Kind of like the Vlad doll. I'm like
Pass it around to everyone.
Elf on the Shelf. Everyone's house. Bring me out. I don't give a shit at that point. I mean, my spirit would obviously pass on. No, if you guys
Oh, yeah.
taxidermy my ass.
Yeah, but then you'd
Stuff
probably
my-
have fun coming back and moving your body and freaking people out.
If I had that in my will, I said legally, I want you guys to stuff me, make sure I'm popping for at least 6 months, and then you can cremate me. Do I win that in court?
Is that legal? Can you do that to a
If
human?
you provide funding for it, I probably think it would work.
I think people get weird when it comes to dead bodies and doing tomfoolery.
I did that random fact once about that tribe where every year they dig up all their loved ones from the grave and then they dress them in very lavish outfits and they give them cigarettes and alcohol and they just they just hang out with them all day.
And not everybody who digs people up is cool because someone's gonna dig up an X or something, or
Yeah.
and they're gonna,
I don't dig it.
yeah.
So I mean, you're setting them up for so many.
I don't mean to set him up, man. He's in
This
that
is like T-ball.
he's in that dad joke zone. I can't help it. But would you make sure that happened for me, Dennys? Would you?
Oh yeah,
When I
I'd
died,
venerate your body.
when I
around my
died,
house.
and you go, look, guys, Randy, my dad, Kevin, Virginia,
Come on over. We're having a party.
Ted, Tina, Becky, my family. Bird wanted this. You got me?
They would understand.
We all understand.
They would go, I get it.
It'd be
it's
like
fine.
It'd be like
Yeah.
it'd be like a real Madame Tussauds.
yeah.
So here's my other question, and it kind of piggybacks on that one, and it's really the ethics behind cloning. And I want you guys to kind of, it was a long email. I had to edit it down. It says, "Dear Weird Whatever, hear me out, y'all. We were heading into a time where we were able to clone living creatures and then pair them up with AI technically. For example, if you cloned a human and then planted a chip controlled by AI inside of them, you potentially could make it to where the cloned loved one is just almost identical as how they were alive or how they were in their true essence. That means you could start making clones of your loved ones now so they technically will never die. It's where AI and cloning meet. Does that make sense to y'all? Is it ethical? Does that make sense?
So the tricky parts is how they're creating a body. It's an inanimate body.
They would clone you.
Well, so the clone, they're cloning me. It's an identical copy and made from me from that moment onward.
And then they would take the AI
But
technique.
would you retain memories as a clone, or you would start right then and there?
So she went on. It was a long
Yeah,
email.
yeah.
And,
I'm working it out.
and her name was sincerely Scientist Shayna.
All right.
Scientist Shayna said, or Shanna, it was a long email. She goes, it's not there right now,
For
but
sure.
the potential is there. For example, if Beckett's alive right now. We cloned a Beckett, and then we got his AI.
So it goes
Is
through
it-
all his social media. It determines his personality
Yes.
based on his astrology,
So-
everything.
And it would be Beckett. So if Beckett died, we would have a Beckett that's pretty much just like Beckett.
Yeah.
It would act like Beckett. It would interact like you would have the same kind of answers and responses. But deep down, we would know it's not really Beckett. It's a clone with AI mixed.
Well, over time, would that matter if you develop new memories with the Beckett?
That's why we're bringing this topic up, dog. That's
that's a
exactly
great
why.
point.
Because
You're
I
like,
think
screw
we're-
new Beckett, and then you go drinking with him. You're like, new Beckett's kind of cool.
Well,
Yeah.
imagine Beckett dies, and then they clone. We had a clone Beckett with the AI chip inside of him, and he comes over still, acts just like Beckett. We don't see any kind of difference. Does that fill the void? Even though we know the real Beckett is dead.
Right. Well, what it does, and by the way, there's already companies that exist like this. And there was a Black Mirror episode on this. What they do is, because we're putting out content, they could take all of the Weird and Whatever podcasts, all of the things that I've ever said, my vocal inflections, my dumb jokes, like my annoying laugh, everything.
We don't think it's annoying, but it's lovable.
Thank you. They could take my emails, my text messages, if they had access to them, and AI.
We don't want that.
No, yeah, you don't want all of them. And they could take all of that, and they. 'Cause here's the one thing that a friend of mine that owns an AI company. When you have.
By the way, I'm shocked that Beckett has a friend that owns an AI company.
I feel like you waited till now to mention it too.
Yeah, I do.
You could have brought that up 3 weeks ago.
Here's the weird thing about AI compared to what Google search used to be. It was a very if-then statement with, say, hey, where do I do this, or what happens if this, and it would spit out results. What happens with machine learning is you never know what it's gonna say, right? You could ask it the same question 10 different times, 10 different people, it'll give a different answer, right? It's just cruising and it continues to learn. And when I heard that explanation 2 days ago, that's what really started to freak me out about AI. Because I was yeah.
Welcome to the fucking dance.
That's what really, I know it sounds like a small thing, but that's what really started to freak me out about AI. Because it's really like an open, and now I understand the Elon Musk, the Jay Bird, I mean, yes, in the same category.
I'm side-eyeing your ass.
Yeah. That's what really put me in the category. I'm like, whoa. This is just like an open thing, and this thing is just like
It's like a bacteria. It could just spread.
Oh,
and
just spreading out. Like, and that's what really kind of freaked me out about it.
Vickie, what are your thoughts? How about this? Let's even break it down on a simplistic level here. Cloning in general, is it ethical in your opinion?
I don't know about how ethical it is, but to me, it's an empty exercise because to me, we're souls. And what's missing in this clone is a soul. And that soul is what you liked about the person. Even you can copy their personality, you can create a new meat suit, whatever you want to do. That person's soul is not in there.
But to Dennys' point, and I'm saying universally, people can be kind of dumb as fuck sometimes. Humans. They don't care a lot of times. After time, life goes on, and all of a sudden, AI Beckett, clone Beckett, is walking around, sounds just like he does. He's giving you the same feeling all of a sudden. Do you think some people will not care? We're old school. We do care about shit like that. I feel like people born into technology, they kind of don't. I feel like their spirit's in jeopardy, so to speak.
Some people will not care, but my thing is death, unfortunately, is a part of life. And when someone passes on, you need to accept the process. And the process is we die, our body is either cremated or buried. We go on to the next thing that we're supposed to do. So I think getting attached to a clone, to something that doesn't have a soul, is dangerous for your mental health.
Well, and I don't want to sound like a broken record, Dennys, but it is an episode on Twilight Zone. And it really is. This guy is caught up in this whole conundrum of, I'm in love with this woman, but she's a robot. Mm-hmm. And everything I thought I knew about her is, doesn't that not fuck you up? You found your soulmate. Imagine finding out Jen, your wife, was a robot this whole time.
It'd be crazy. It would rock you.
She cuts her arm on the wall, and wires start sticking out of her arm.
It'd be tough.
And she's like, Dennys, I love you.
Just when I was learning to
this
love.
is
Wait, hold on. I just want to get Denny. How do you react to that?
Oh, gosh.
Do
that's
you
something.
stay with Jen
Well,
as a robot?
Do I fight through that?
If you found out Jen was a robot.
Well, then it would just raise so many other questions. You would think the Truman Show was real. You would think everything's fake. Because there's no situation where robots are just walking amongst us.
That would be such bullshit. You had the longest week. You just want to chill, and you come home, and your wife fell and cut herself, and there's wires hanging out of her arm.
If it was late enough, I'd be like, dude, I'll deal with this on Saturday. I'd just fight through it. I'd be like, yeah, I'm just going to watch TV for a little bit.
or maybe I can reprogram this.
All right, Dad, you want to get some
the
food?
Stepford
You
wife.
want to get some Chinese food?
Yeah.
We'll talk about this tomorrow.
We'll figure this out tomorrow.
I'm going to block it out because it's too big.
It'd have to be a morning thing. I'd have to wake up first thing, deal with that.
That's pretty funny because sometimes life will give you the biggest problem, and it's so overwhelming, and you go, yep, I'm going to deal with that tomorrow.
I'm going to wait till tomorrow for that one.
It'll still be here, clearly. All
Well,
right. You
this
will,
is
not, you
gonna-
will not leave your robot wife. I love that.
This is going to sound philosophical, but I think that more resources need to go into healing before we go to creating, right? Does that make sense?
No.
No?
Explain.
So
Win me over.
So I think if you're going to use AI and DNA technology and all that, let's go to healing someone that has cancer. Let's go into healing someone that has issues rather than we're like making another person or another horse and all of those things. Like, I think that is a lot of money and a lot of research that's going into creating new things when we have things that need fixing already that exist.
Mr. Beckett, I'm glad you said that because you accidentally got me into our next topic when technology is for the good.
Yeah.
Very good. Students at Tennessee Tech helped out a 12-year-old girl who loves music and wanted to play drums, but she was born without hands. So they had to come up with a custom prosthetics to make it happen. Her name is Aubrey. This is her mom and the doctor talking about the whole thing. No hands, technology gave her the ability to play an instrument. This is awesome.
Aubrey was born a triple congenital amputee.
Now, these are custom designed. I mean, they scanned her arms, made many versions to custom fit her.
People look at me and be like, I bet she isn't able to do anything, but I can do everything. So it doesn't really bother me.
I mean, that's when I love me some technology. That is what it's about. And then another AI kind of a story that I thought was a cool thing. And Matt, we are dog lovers on this show, and we talked a little bit about this on the KVJ show. I don't think we played this audio clip. It's a new team of researchers at UT Arlington in Texas. They're using AI to hopefully understand what dogs are saying when they make noise. So could you imagine having a dog knowing what it's saying, what it's barking, kind of like a baby's cry, Vickie? That's the thing, right?
Empty my bank account for that technology.
Damn.
I mean, if you're a good pet owner or you know your baby, you don't need anything to translate.
So disagree with you on that one. I was a great pet owner with my dog Chewy, and there were times where he would struggle with his health, and he would have different kind of barks and yelps and cries. And if I would just have the technology to let him know or let me know what he's saying, it would have made my life and his life way easier. I'm not that good, and I loved my dog, but I could not decipher between certain barks. And I think a lot of people could, even if you are a great pet owner. I would love to know the specifics of what my sweet Chewy was saying.
But how would you trust that the technology is doing it accurately?
Well, at that point, why would
better.
you trust any technology at that point?
So one of the best veterinarian books ever, because I have friends in the equine business that are veterinarians, is called Tell Me Where It Hurts. And the reason, I was in tears when I heard the story, it was on NPR. When you go as a human to a doctor and get an assessment, this kind of piggybacks on what Bird's saying. You can say, oh, well, when I do this, I feel like this, and in the morning, X, Y, and Z. And a doctor, although not perfect with humans, they can communicate to the patient, and they can try to give a diagnosis and figure out a treatment. What veterinarians, to their credit, have a tough time doing that they don't have the luxury of with humans is they don't have feedback, right? It is almost like, hey, I got to feel here and whatever. We got to try this, try this. So it is a whole different kind of treatment and medicine, physician type approach with an animal, because that's why the title of the book is what it's called, Tell Me Where It Hurts, because they don't really know. They have to see how the horse is walking differently all of a sudden, whatever, and they have to figure it out.
Yeah, I want to play this clip. This is the team talking about the AI and all that stuff, and how it works. And I see what you're saying, Vickie, but I just know that there's a lot of people that don't know how to decipher a dog's bark or a cat's meow, and they would love to. Man, if Chewy could tell me what the fuck he wanted, man, that would have been amazing for me. Here's the team talking about it.
People have always tried to understand what animals are talking about. We are trying to do this completely automatically. We are being able to discover certain word-like patterns. This combination of 27, 9, 32, 20 might be a dog word.
Now, I don't want Chewy, rest in peace, I don't want him barking, "Rah, rah, 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 saw you jerk off." Rah, rah. I don't want that. But I want him to let me know he's hungry, or he's hurt, or he's having a bad dream. Vickie? You're looking at me?
I mean, maybe I'm at a disadvantage or advantage, depending on where you look at it. Maybe it was the psychic medium side of me, and I read animals, so I never really struggled with knowing what my animals needed and what they were. But I get that.
Someone's got a little PP. Psychic privilege.
Can I ask Vickie a question? What?
No.
What would you say if I was thinking about adopting a dog or two, just like you've done in the past with me, with people? Could you look at a picture and give me an assessment on the dog?
Yep. My very first animal reading was a horse, and I didn't even realize the person owned a horse.
Wow.
We were at a bar, and all of a sudden she walked in. It was a friend of a friend, and I'm like, do you have a horse? And she's like, yeah. And I go, well, it's hurt here in like the upper, I don't know the, things, but upper right,
hind part.
leg, the upper right leg. They hurt it, and that's why that they don't, when you take it and you want to walk it around, that's why it doesn't want to.
Jeez, we need to talk.
That's why that you knew the horse was depressed, because why such a long face?
But yeah, no. If you're ready, whenever you're ready, I'll gladly look at the pictures.
All right, we're gonna talk about the podcast. I have a ton of ideas. The one thing that I would bring up as it relates to this,
okay, Valley Girl Beckett.
Totally, for sure.
We're still gonna talk about our horse. Okay.
The one thing I will say with my experience in equine, so in thoroughbred racing, cloning's not allowed, right? So. As weird as it sounds, if you breed a horse in racing, it has to be a witnessed conception, so to speak, sex, and and it has to be certified. Whatever, that's the rules in thoroughbred horseback racing. Polo, show jumping, every other kind of, as far as I know, horse sport, you can clone. So in the sport of polo, there's cloned horses. In show jumping, Olympic sport, all those, like, it's all cloned. Not all cloned, but a lot of cloning. So Vickie made a comment earlier, and so this is a question of Vickie. So I don't like the idea of cloning because, like I said earlier as a comment, when humans mess with things, it messes with everything. That said, when horses get cloned, what the owners, riders say is that, yes, I cloned this horse because it was fast, it was agile, it was calm, it jumped high. But it is a totally different animal with its own soul. So Vickie made the comment about souls. I would like clarification. Do you think that the cloned human, horse, animal doesn't have a soul, or you think it's different? Because what the people that have experienced it say, hey, it's its own personality, if that makes sense.
Right. I was going on the criteria that Jaybird had put in the scenario, and so that one to me seemed like it didn't have any type of soul or possibility of a soul. Hey, who knows? Maybe if you clone a human, there's a soul on the other side that's waiting to inhabit.
Different soul.
Yeah.
Could you imagine if all of a sudden now you have to deal with clones and their souls, and that
Yeah,
now
robots,
it's half
clones.
robot, half spirit. Now there's this psychic robot spirit business venture going on.
Robots are from Mars. It's gonna be crazy.
Another story I did want to talk
Clones are
about.
from Venus.
Yeah, it's gonna be just. There's too much. They're doing too much now.
Everyone's doing too much
They're
these
doing
days.
too much now.
Slow it down.
Either you're doing too little or you're just doing too much.
Slow it down.
There's a cool little donkey story out there. I love me a donkey. I'm a jackass at heart. A Northern California family's pet donkey ran off 5 years ago and never came back. And donkeys they're cute, man.
What an ass.
Now they found him living with a herd of elk 5 years later.
Oh wow.
And he seems happy as fuck. That's how the news place wrote it up. So they decided to let him live out the rest of his days with the elk. These are the owners talking about finding their pet donkey roaming around with all these elk.
I just bumped these elk, and there's a donkey with them.
It was amazing. It was like, oh my gosh, finally we saw him. Finally we know he's good. And it was just a relief. They learned to get along and be each other's family. To catch him would be next to impossible. He is truly a wild burro now.
I am such a fan when animals are friends that normally aren't friends.
Yeah.
I got sucked into the story today. It was a panther and a Rottweiler, and they were the bestest of friends. They're tackling each other, they're licking each other, they're scratching playing with each other's titties, just having the best time that two people could have with one another. Creatures could have with one another. People. It was amazing. I love watching an alligator and a chicken snuggle together. I love that kind of shit. It warms my heart, Dennys.
Yeah. I see those occasionally. They'll be like a chimpanzee with a alligator.
Oh.
I think I've seen one like that.
If you guys need a little pick-me-up, Google Rottweiler and Panther just fucking frolicking and licking each other and just being friends. Just making it happen.
My German Shepherd, her best friend is our rabbit.
Ah.
Like,
the
that's
German
Beckett.
Shepherd.
The German Shepherd absolutely adores the
Yeah,
rabbit.
exactly.
Absolutely.
Everyone adores the rabbit.
Yeah.
Well, I think with that said, it might be oh, real quick. Last thing I want to say, we'll end it on the whatever part. Is this newsworthy in your opinion? Because when I was doing prep for the show today, all of these news headlines are flying in. McDonald's offers up $5 combo meals, as if that is some holy shit, fuck yeah kind of a thing. Maybe I'm out of touch. Are $5 combo meals headline news in your opinion?
No, it's cheap as shit.
You think it is headline news?
With inflation, $5.
You think it's headline?
Yeah, especially it's summer. The kids aren't getting free lunch at school. You need to go. You got 4 kids. Hey, you're going to McDonald's.
Ah, that's great.
So you do think it's worthy of a
Because I
headline?
think those meals now, at least before this promotion, I mean, they could be $12.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
It is.
By the way, I know this sounds nerdy, but it's a big topic. What is it? The USDA is debating if they're going to keep potato as a vegetable in school. Did you talk about
So can we finish the McDonald's top?
Sorry,
yeah, it's okay. We can go into that real quick. I just want to give everybody the what you get with that $5.
All right.
Okay.
Choice of a McDouble burger or McChicken sandwich,
Yum.
Okay.
small fry, or a 4-piece chicken nugget, small soft drink for $5. Are we impressed with this headline?
I'm
okay.
confused because it's so much stuff.
Well, you can choose between
Yeah, you have
the McChicken and the McDouble.
So you get a McDouble, you can get some nugs.
You got a small fry and a small
fry.
Okay, 1, chat room, impressive. 2, what the fuck, McDonald's? Not a headline. I'm anxious because I was on the 2 end going, $5 combo meal? This is headline news?
Well, so I saw a billboard. They were saying double cheeseburgers, $2.39 right now. And I was like, $2.39? I remember those things were so...
They were $1.
They were, and then on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, they'd have the 29
those were the
cent.
regular, the single ones. They had the 39-cent and the 29
Oh,
cent.
so
Yeah.
it is, but those days are long gone.
Yeah.
First comment comes in from KR, not impressed. Next one from Chrissy, 2, Scarlett, 2, Summer, 2, Urchlin, 2, Brett Biller, 1. A lot of 2s, man.
A lot of 2s.
I don't think that's headline
It's
news,
probably because we're
y'all.
comparing it to what we used to to get.
Oh, you mean a year and a half ago? Yeah, I know.
Yeah, not that long.
Before COVID.
How dare us compare that?
Yeah, pre-Coves.
You're acting like it was like 97 when we had $5 meals,
My
and it wasn't.
My grandparents had stories how they used to go to the movies for like 50 cents.
So Anna says, yeah, it's a deal, but I'm not impressed, especially the amount of money that they've made.
Well, that's what it is.
I'm with Anna on that.
It is a deal compared to what they usually charge, but at the same price, it's not impressive at all.
It's gaslighting. Oh, yeah, we went down from $11 because everyone's yelling, and it's $5. So
let's
take
put
it, bitch.
let's put it this way: where are you gonna get that food anywhere else for that price?
I have an answer for you, you smug fuck. What do you work for McDonald's now?
The founder over here.
He knows a guy that has an AI company and owns 11 McDonald's. But they're not in America. They're like in Rio, some exotic place.
I don't even eat that food.
Morocco.
I don't even eat that food. I hate McDonald's. They don't even have a veggie burger. I'm a Burger King guy.
Oh. Beckett.
The only thing they got going for them is that
They have the Impossible Burger.
Yeah. Everything
Impossible
else.
Whopper is great.
This is what happens on every podcast. Me and Beckett end up arguing
about food.
Some fucking
Something.
weird point.
Something random.
Well, thank you everybody for tuning into the Weird Whatever podcast. I had great fun. I don't want to speak for the crew, but I had a great time.
I was blessed.
It was meh. I'd put it in the middle.
So
kidding. I'm
mid. So
trolling.
mid.
It was mid AM.
It was a C.
I fucking love this guy. Mr. Ponton, step up to the microphone. Anything to promote, add, final words?
No. But thank you. No, I had a great time tonight.
Good.
Over in the cheap seats. It's always fun.
Always in the cheap seats, Mr. Ponton, our man, eyes, ears, on the street. Dennys, final thoughts, commentary of this great podcast, this amazing podcast.
I'm excited for Vickie's appearance coming up. I think Jen and I might go out there. So.
Oh.
Yeah, she already contacted
What is that?
me.
What's the appearance?
She
Were you
mentioned it
here at the
earlier.
beginning of the podcast?
She's going to be at the
Hello?
Barnes
Are
&
you
Noble.
drinking ayahuasca whiskey?
Yeah.
She's going to be at the Barnes & Noble, not this weekend, but the following weekend.
Yeah.
Okay.
Here in Boynton, and then Port St. Lucie on the 6th.
I just wanted to say it again.
Okay, but you're right.
You forgot.
No, double plug that thing.
I need a Google Calendar invite.
Beckett, final thoughts, commentary.
I want to have Vickie over for a party, no doubt. And we've been talking for a long time. I'm definitely bringing her over for an investigation at my house.
That's very, very
Have her
sweet.
talk.
Very
The horses, too, find out.
Oh,
Yeah.
the horses
And
and,
the
the dogs.
dogs,
Yeah.
yeah.
I have a dog rescue I work with. I'm going to talk to
Yeah, I'm
Vickie
going to
about
have to come up with a special hourly rate just for you.
Oh, she gonna charge your
That
ass,
Palm Beach
Beckett?
price.
it. I hear that a lot.
Yeah, you know, charging some Palm Beach prices. Fuck yeah. And Vickie, anything else to add on?
No, if anybody wants to contact me, the email is nancy38drew@aol.com.
Well, again, thank you guys. Now, this is the part of the program I really love and I really, really, really believe in. Our original songwriter of the week. This week is a guy named Tony Manfredi, and it's called Galway Bay. And me and Dennys were listening to a little bit of it earlier. It reminds me of a Jimmy Buffett, Key West, drunken kind of a song.
Yes.
Got a little bit of a country
A
twang
little more
to
country
it.
twang to it.
But it's got a party vibe, and they're awesome people. So please, if you don't mind, give it a listen. We want to support anybody that does original music, really. If you're writing your music, send it to me, please. I want to play it. I don't care what genre it is. It's something that's very near and dear to my heart and spirit. I want people writing, humans writing original thoughts, not AI. We're against robots.
And you send that to
Some of us. Any of our venues. avenues.
Jason Pennington, KVJ @gmail.com.
Jason Pennington, KVJ @gmail.com. Instagram is pretty much my best, Jason KVJ. So smooth. They never said it was smooth, Beckett, but they said it was free. Here we go. We've got Tony Manfredi, Galway Bay. Y'all, when this thing uploads, please leave a comment. It does help us. We love you all, and
Bigfoot is real.
spin that shit, Dennys.
At mile marker 47.5, just before you take that 7-mile ride on the ocean side, there's a place called Galway Bay. You probably pass right by it, 'cause you don't know, but inside those trailers crammed in little bitty rows, there's a key storybook full of characters, one might say. They're from New Jersey, New York, Mass and Rhode Island, and 100 other places they didn't want to die in. Come together, a group of souls like you've never seen. Just riding around on their golf carts and trikes, got coolers in the back to keep that booze on ice. Just chasing the sunsets and living out their dreams. Oh yeah, in Galway Bay, someone's already drunk today. Yeah, someone's hungover, got sunburned shoulders, someone's getting laid. And it seems that these people have found that when the sun goes down, it ain't the size of your pile, it's the size of your smile that makes this world go round. So listen up, now Tennessee Bill, he's the trailer trash king. And he got that crown from Buck who won in 2019. And now he's happy as a beaver with a birch tree, I've heard him say. And Janet and Wolfie and Shelley and Mark are just a couple of the couples you might meet at the park, shuffling your feet down the streets on any given day. But Donnie and Carla, they're the resident pirates. They greet you with an erg and a bush beer diet. And if you're lucky, dinner might be done around 10, but I doubt it. And if keeping up with Donnie knocks you out by 9, Mama Carla's gonna walk you home, you'll be just fine. You could come back again tomorrow, hey, and try your luck again. At Galway Bay, someone's already drunk today. Yeah, someone's hungover, got sunburned shoulders, someone's getting laid. It seems that these people have found that when the sun goes down, it ain't the size of your pile, it's the size of your smile that makes this world go round. But if you drank too much and your head is humming like hell, and you wake up in the Brass Burgers Hangover Hotel, there's nothing you need to say, it's just another day at Galway Bay. Because in Galway Bay, man, we're already drunk today. Yeah, someone's hungover, got them sunburned shoulders, someone's getting laid. And it seems that these people have found that when the sun goes down, it ain't the size of your pile, and it's the size of your smile that makes this world go round. It ain't the size of your pile, and it's the size of your smile that makes this world go